Yo, I don't even know where to start today. The internet is on absolute fire. Twitter looks like a crime scene. NLE Choppa just dropped one of the wildest diss tracks of the year, Hello Revenge, and bro, the reactions, they are not what he expected. Freddie Gibbs is literally crying laughing. Southside Gun said we need to find a way to stop Choppa from making music. And one dude said Choppa looks like a rapper with a split personality disorder. I'm not even joking. The backlash is insane. I'm talking the entire timeline turning into a roast session, all while NBA Youngboy is watching this go down from a distance. But here's the crazy part. This wasn't just a random diss. This wasn't trolling. This wasn't promo. This was NLE Choppa going directly at NBA Youngboy's neck like a man on a mission. Billboards in Youngboy's hometown, Tupac hit him up inspiration, Youngboy lookalike in chains, and an entire boxing ring scene where Choppa knocks him out. This man risked everything for this moment. And now, the only question everybody wants to know, how did NBA Youngboy react? Did he respond? Is he letting this slide? Or is he about to take it to that next level that only Youngboy knows how to hit? Let's break all of this down, from the history of this beef to Choppa's identity crisis accusations, to the moment Youngboy finally responded behind the scenes. Buckle up, this is about to get messy. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, the memes. Bro, the memes are so brutal, you'd think Twitter had a personal vendetta against this man. One tweet reads, "What's so funny about NLE Choppa is the talent is there and he can perform as an artist, but he doesn't have an identity, so it just looks like a rapper with a split personality disorder." Over 60 likes, people agreeing like it's gospel. Then you got Freddie Gibbs. This man hopped on his story straight up roasting. He's staring at a clip of Choppa doing this cowboy Michael Jackson stance, and he said he's been laughing for 20 minutes straight. 20 minutes. Gibbs basically said this video is his new workout routine. And to top it off, Southside Gun, a verified account, posted Choppa doing that stiff hip body roll in the mountains, saying, "At some point, we gotta find a way to stop NLE Choppa from making music." Imagine dropping a diss track and the first 3 responses are not from Youngboy fans, not from rap blogs, but from verified rappers clowning your choreography. I can't lie, that's tough. But what makes it worse is that Choppa wasn't trying to be funny in the video. He wasn't trolling. This wasn't some Playboy Cardi vampire arc. He was serious. He was locked in. He was dead in character for this NLE the Great persona he's been pushing. And that's where people started saying he's having an identity crisis. Before we even get into the diss and Youngboy's reaction, we gotta address this part because it plays directly into the backlash. Choppa has gone through more artistic eras than any rapper in his generation. When he blew up at 16, he was the hyper-violent street rapper with the wild dances and assault rifle props. Then he switched into the spiritual, alkaline, sage-burning, plant-growing vegan Choppa. Then he bounced into the super freak era, where he was dropping songs telling girls to lick his gooch. Then he shaved his head, went full NLE the Great, and started pushing this spiritual warrior / anime boss / cowboy assassin persona. And look, there's nothing wrong with evolving as an artist. People switch styles all the time. But Choppa switches entire personalities. So when he drops this huge diss track dressed like Neo from The Matrix combined with a rodeo dancer, people don't take the message seriously. They only see the aesthetic. That's exactly why the reactions are so harsh. It's not that NLE Choppa can't rap. Nobody thinks he's trash. In fact, even critics say he's one of the only young rappers actually improving lyrically. The problem is, people don't know who he is anymore. He's giving Michael Jackson kicks in a Youngboy diss video while quoting Bible scriptures between scenes. And the internet don't care about the deeper message. People care about clips, screenshots, memes, split-second moments, and NLE Choppa gave them enough ammo for the next 2 years. But here's where everything gets interesting. Behind all the memes, behind the clowning, behind the backlash, there's a real beef happening. There's real history here, and NLE didn't drop Hello Revenge randomly. This was personal. The NLE Choppa and NBA Youngboy feud isn't new. This goes back years, all the way to 2019, when Choppa was still a teenager. And the wild part is, this beef didn't even start with them. It started with Choppa's friends. During an IG Live back in 2019, Choppa was chillin', talking to his fans, and his homies in the background started saying Youngboy wasn't a real killer. They even called him a female dog. Choppa instantly tried to shut it down because he knew how serious that could get, but it was too late. The clip went viral. Youngboy saw it and immediately responded on live with subliminals. From that moment, fans declared them rivals. YouTube became a battlefield. Reddit threads exploded, and people started comparing the two non-stop. What made it worse was that Choppa admitted Youngboy was his favorite rapper. He said it on live video. He said, "Youngboy, my favorite rapper, word for word." That one line has followed him his entire career. And then the Fredo Bang situation happened. This is where Choppa crossed a line that Youngboy does not forgive. Choppa hopped on a song with Fredo Bang and dropped subliminal shots about herpes, which everyone knew was referencing Youngboy. From that point, Youngboy's camp labeled Choppa an op. And if that wasn't enough, Quando Rondo, Youngboy's right-hand man, literally got into a fight with Choppa's people. They were throwing bottles, security getting involved, Quando hopping online, talking about he cracked Choppa's homie's head open with a Hennessy bottle. The relationship was over. Then the Vaughn situation happened. After Vaughn was killed by Lil Tim, Quando's man Choppa publicly stood with Lil Durk. He even co-signed Lil Reese, saying Youngboy wasn't on Demon Time. That sparked one of Youngboy's most direct diss tracks ever. Youngboy dropped No Like I Know, and that song is basically 3 minutes of pure threat aimed at NLE Choppa. He mentioned Choppa's mom multiple times. He talked about ending him. He mocked his spiritual journey. He literally said, "Your mama gonna be crying, seeing you in a coffin." So when people act like this new diss came out of nowhere, nah. This beef is years old. Real disrespect was said. Physical altercations happened. Affiliations split. People chose sides. There's blood in the past and tension in the present. Hello Revenge wasn't random. This was a response to years of subliminals, disrespect, and failed attempts at reconciliation. Now let's break down this diss, because if we're being honest, this is the most creative, most cinematic, and most shocking thing Choppa has ever dropped. The music video opens with Bible scriptures, like some spiritual war declaration. Then it pans to Choppa, dressed like a cross between a Final Fantasy boss and a black Western outlaw. The fit alone had the internet confused, but visually, the video is insane. Clean shots, cinematic lighting, a mountainous backdrop like he's about to summon a dragon. And the lyrics? He wasn't just talking violence. He was talking morality. He was talking culture. He was attacking Youngboy as a destructive influence on kids. He said Youngboy poisons the youth. He said Youngboy promotes violence he wouldn't commit himself. He said Youngboy hurts women. He said Youngboy is spiritually lost. He framed Youngboy as the face of darkness and himself as the righteous one, bringing balance. And that's where the backlash starts getting interesting. Because even though the visuals were funny to some people, a lot of viewers were saying this is the first diss that actually hits Youngboy where it hurts. Not street stuff, not gang talk, but legacy, influence, impact. Choppa attacked Youngboy's narrative, and Youngboy does not like when someone challenges the idea that he's authentic. So now we get to the part you've been waiting for. So how did NBA Youngboy react to all this? Let's be real, Youngboy is unpredictable. He might ignore you for a year, or he might drop a diss track at 3 a.m. before anyone even knows he's awake. But here's the truth. As of now, Youngboy has not dropped a public diss track back at Choppa. But behind the scenes, here's what happened. Youngboy's camp saw the video immediately. An insider said Youngboy laughed when he first saw the dancing clips. Straight up laughed. Not because he thought it was funny, but because he didn't take it seriously. But when he broke down the lyrics, it's clear he isn't playing games anymore. Multiple sources say Youngboy is not letting that slide. The disrespect is too visual, too direct, too symbolic. And remember, Youngboy's entire brand is built on never being humiliated, ever. Not by bloggers, not by rappers, not by fans. So the belief is, Youngboy is taking his time crafting the response. Not a quick diss, not a rushed track, a full nuclear scorched earth response. And the problem is, Youngboy doesn't do half measures. When he goes at you, he says stuff that sticks. Think about what he did to Durk. Think about what he said about Vaughn. Think about the shots fired era. When Youngboy decides you're an enemy, he has no filter.
So is a response coming? Yes, 100%. And when it comes, it won't be funny. It won't be playful. It won't be TikTok friendly. It will be dangerous music. And Choppa knows it too. That's why he's pushing the spiritual angle so hard, the God versus evil framing, because he knows Youngboy's response is going to be demonic levels of disrespect. Now, the bigger question everyone is asking, was this smart for Choppa? On one hand, Hello Revenge is going viral everywhere. It's all over Twitter, it's dominating TikTok. People are arguing, laughing, analyzing, debating. But on the other hand, Choppa's identity is getting questioned. His persona is getting clowned. His choreography is getting roasted by rappers with bigger respect in the industry. And fans are talking more about the meme potential than the actual lyrics. And that's where this whole situation becomes deeper.
because NLE Choppa is trying to transition into a more mature, conscious rapper. But the internet only sees him as unpredictable. They don't know if he's serious. They don't know if he's trolling. They don't know if NLE the Great is a character or a meltdown. And that lack of identity hurts him in a beef where Youngboy's entire brand is consistency. Youngboy may be chaotic, but he's always Youngboy. Choppa is always someone new. So even though Choppa probably delivered the better written diss, the internet is siding with Youngboy because they don't trust Choppa's character. They see it as another era, another costume, another personality. And that means this beef is about something way bigger than music. It's about authenticity. So where does all this go from here? Youngboy is plotting his response. That's guaranteed. Choppa is clearly doubling down because he's been posting more cryptic messages, more visuals, more persona-building content. Twitter is fully locked in. TikTok is covering this like a Netflix series, and every rap page on Instagram is milking it for content. This is officially the biggest rap beef of the year so far. But here's my honest opinion. This isn't ending in a reconciliation. Too much humiliation, too much ego, too much pride, too much disrespect. Somebody is going to escalate. Whether it's in music or in subliminals or in another video, we're about to see two young artists go into full war mode. And the sad part is, both of these dudes are incredibly talented. Both could be top-tier artists with longevity. But rap beef has a way of changing careers forever. At the end of the day, Hello Revenge is one of the most talked about diss tracks in years, for better or for worse. Some people think it's the best thing Choppa ever dropped. Some people think it's the funniest thing he's ever done. But one thing you can't deny, it worked. Everybody is talking about it. And NBA Youngboy is definitely paying attention. The only question left is, what happens when Youngboy finally responds? Because when he does, this beef is going to hit a whole new level. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.